What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me here today on this Tuesday, May 30th, 2023 for another metallic episode of Music of Destruction coming to you from the MOD Crypt. As always, bringing you the best in metal-related content right here on YouTube on one of the only metal channels you need. If you missed anything in the past week, bring down the menu, click it. Everything you need to get caught up is there, as well as on the homepage. I would certainly appreciate it. Just interviewed Tabor Hanyi of Cryptworm. Go and check that out. That was an awesome interview. Thank you, Tabor, for being on the channel. He is going to come back when Cryptworm release their next album, which is going to be great. Remember to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss anything. MLD giving you only the real elite underground. As always, welcome to Album Review Tuesdays here on the channel. And today we're doing another member request. This one comes from Kareem, and he has asked me to review an absolute anarcho-punk slash crossover classic with the Exploited, Death Before Dishonor. And I can't believe how awesome this album is. I've been blasting it for the last couple of days. Now, this was released in 1987 on Rough Justice Records, okay? Now, before we get into the review, I'm going to give you guys a quick bio on the band and then the lineup. The Exploited are a Scottish punk rock band from Edinburgh, which formed in 1978 by Stevie Ross and Terry Buchan, with Buchan soon replaced by his brother Wattie Buchan. They signed to Secret Records in March of 1981, and their debut EP Army Life and debut album Punk's Not Dead were both released that year. Now, the band maintained a large cult following in the 1980s among a hardcore working class punk and skinhead audience. Originally a street punk band, the Exploited eventually became a crossover thrash band with the release of their album Death Before Dishonour in 1987, which is exactly what it sounds like. I talk about that a lot in the review. Now, although the Exploited continue to perform live, they have not released any studio material since their last album, Fuck the System, in 2003. Their songs have been covered by Slayer and Ice-T. Despite many lineup changes, Wattie has remained as the Exploited's singer and leader. So for the lineup on Death Before Dishonor, we have Wattie on vocals, Tony on bass, Willie on drums and guitar, Nige doing guitars, and the Pimmels doing the backing vocals. Alright, let's get into the review, shall we? Now, the album opens up with the track Anti-UK, Wattie screaming something about raging against the UK on this track. This is a fast-paced, awesome crossover thrash metal hardcore punk track that actually has a lot of metal in it in my eyes. It's aggressive, the production is raw and abrasive, the drumming simple, precise, and powerful. Now, the guitar work is upbeat, almost like a thrash riff coming in here, but very punk as well. Like I said, crossover all over the place on this track. Now, this is a band that I feel was ahead of their time on so many levels. We even get some great guitar soloing throughout the track with some powerful lead guitar solos here as well. This track really embodies the spirit of anarchy, reminds me of Motorhead in a lot of ways, and bands like Suicidal Tendencies and other bands like that. It's got a lot of thrash. This is killer opener. Next, we got Power Struggle, and this is some amazing stuff. I swear to God, crossover thrash. There's so many metal elements to their brand of anarcho-punk here as well. The guitar work, flawless, full of attitude, energy, and passion. The vocals and drums and bass are amazing as well, and Wattie's vocals are so goddamn distinguishable that you know it's him no matter what track it is. There's some deadly, deadly crossover on this track, and this is what true punk and crossover is supposed to sound like. Full of attitude, conviction, passion, and emotion, and a message of taking down the authoritarian agenda of this tyrannical world that has been under the iron fist of the monarchy for the last 6,000 years. This track's fucking incredible. Next up, we have Scaling the Dry Wall. This one is a fast, frantic, aggressive, and powerful crossover thrash track. Again, the raw production really suits the aesthetic of this DIY attitude of anarcho-punk crossover rock chaos. This track embodies these elements perfectly, okay? The guitar work on this is very memorable, has a lot of passion and conviction behind its raw, fuck authority and fuck society energy. This is why I love crossover so much. This is a great track. The drums, once again, are simplistic, but so effective at keeping things heavy and very energetic. Great stuff. Next up, we have Barry Prosset. This one is very, very crossover metallic sounding, but the punk delivery and the vocals gives it the crossover feel, and I truly believe that the Exploited are one of the pioneers of crossover, along with bands like Suicidal Tendencies, Dirty Rotten Imbeciles, and Stormtroopers of Death. I mean, this is so damn thrashy and intense, but also very energetic, hardcore punk, raw, powerful, and emotionally aggressive. very frenetic. It's got a very frenetic energy of anger and triumph over authoritarianism. The drum work, once again, simplistic, but it fits the music. Does not need to be complex. We get some more electric lead guitar solos, which are absolutely awesome and really up the energy of this track. Amazing, to say the least. This is another great track. Next up is No Forgiveness, and man, this is some amazing anarcho-punk crossover. Raw, fast, aggressive, emotionally powerful. This is some aggressive, upbeat anarcho crossover. Triumphant and aggressive. You also have a lot of great punk elements on here. A little bit less metallic, but still has that metal feel in the guitar work and the attitude. Some great guitar work on here, and you can certainly tell that this is where black metal would also draw a lot of its influences from when you listen to this album, because those foundations are definitely here and would later help to define black metal's overall sound. This is a great, raw, energetic track as well. Next, we have Death Before Dishonour, the title track. This has some crazy militant drumming to start it off with a really cool bass line, great guitar riff opening it up before it breaks into its main driving riff and drum work. Wow, this might be my favorite on the album so far, and does this ever remind me of Bathory? I know the Exploited were around first in 1978, but the sound of this and the aggression is evident that Bathory definitely drew a lot of their influences from this album and band, because the roots of black metal can be traced to bands like The Exploited. This is absolutely killer. Heavy, aggressive, and cranked up to 10 on the intensity scale. Wattie's vocals on here, so amazing, and we get more guitar soloing here. Definitely metal elements. Of course, there is all over this record. Great sound here. This is so great. Let's check out some of The Exploited here on MOD. Enjoy. And we're back, absolutely killer. Next up is Adding to Their Fears. This is another fast, aggressive anarcho-punk crossover attack of nothing less than sheer brilliance. Definitely going to be buying this album, there's no question about it. This is some aggressive, angry, rage-fueled anarcho crossover punk madness, and that definitely makes me want to headbang my ass off. That can be said about the entire album. We get these awesome lead guitar riffs on every song, and it's clear that many metal bands would have taken influences from The Exploited, because it's all over it, everywhere on this album. This is another great track. Next, we have Police Informer. This is another deadly anarcho-punk crossover attack of pure vitriol against authority and the construct of the world. There's such a profound, powerful, raw, aggressive energy and statement coming off this track, an entire album. This is some deadly punk crossover. Wattie sounds as pissed off as ever, and this is another awesome track as well. Next up is Drive Me Insane, and wow, this one opens with some more amazing guitar work, and it's a lot faster in pace in ways and a bit more punkish with its upbeat major riffing rather than being so cemented in minor chords, though those are present. However, it's no less aggressive, energetic, and pissed off as any previous track. Wattie's aggression on this track cannot be understated either, because the power of his anger and rage can be felt throughout the music, and the lyrics of his disgust with governments and the entire power structure obsession that's controlling us. This is what makes Crossover so fucking awesome, and Anarcho punk. This is a great track. Next up, we have Pulling Us Down, and Jesus Christ, does this ever feel like a thrash metal song? It is, basically. Crossover all the way. It's got fast, thrashy guitar riffing and tone. There's an amazing guitar riffing here amidst Wattie's insane, raspy, rage-fueled vocals and that great simplistic drumming that keeps the album driving forward. Easily one of the heaviest and fastest tracks on the album, and of course, the crossover metal sound is fully intact, raw, venomous, and visceral, with a raw, hateful production against commercialism and mainstream bullshit alike. Definitely embodies the antithesis of fuck the system. So goddamn raw and heavy with some incredible speed and intensity. This is a great track. Closing out this masterpiece is Sexual Favors, and this one's a bit different than the rest of the album. It's got a really experimental, unique guitar work happening early on in the track throughout, and then boom, goes into that crossover Anarcho punk that shines through, mixed with some really intriguing guitar work that's permeating the track, with Wattie's vitriol-filled venomous vocals driving the rage and anger of the album forth, as it does for its entire duration here. And this is a great track to close the album. The final verdict for Death Before Dishonor from The Exploited is getting a 10 out of 10. This is a must-buy. Definitely going to be getting this. One of the best crossover thrash metal albums I've ever heard in my fucking life. Hail fucking Underground. Alright guys, there you have it. Another album review in the books here on the channel. Hope you enjoyed. If you're new, hit the subscribe button down below. Turn on the notification bell. Merchandise on the homepage. Click the store tab. Please go and check out all my merch now. Working on new designs using some really cool art generation. It's going to be great. Join the channel. Become an MLD Elite. You get great perks. $2.49 for your first month. $4.99 thereafter. Hit the join button. You get access to exclusive content, your review requests, like you saw here tonight within reason, of course. Banner reviews, Tabor Hanyu, you just saw him on the channel. You're also going to get collaborations if you have a metal YouTube channel, and members only live streams. Have an awesome night, guys. We'll see you for Album Ranking Wednesdays. Hail.